From his electrifying entry into motorsport to his astounding career, Bianchi was a force to be reckoned with. But then came that fateful day in Suzuka, where destiny took a tragic twist, leaving us with a story of what could have been. Join us as we delve into the life of a true motorsport legend, whose legacy transcends the track. Before Jules Bianchi strapped into the cockpit of a Formula 1 speed demon, his road to the racetrack reads like a script for the next blockbuster. In the world of karting, where most kids his age were getting a kick out of bumper cars, Jules was already playing in the big leagues, and by 2007, he was clinching the French KF2 championship like it was a piece of cake. As Bianchi shifted gears into the world of single-seater racing, the challenge is scaled up. Formula Renault, with its unforgiving tracks and cutthroat competition, was a proving ground where he began to carve a legacy. And with a record that boasted 5 wins out of 16 starts in the 2007 Formula Renault 2.0 Italy Series, Jules Bianchi was the tsunami the racing world hadn't seen coming. But the real plot twist came with his foray into Formula 3. Here, Jules began to rewrite the rulebook with his victories, particularly his triumph at the Monaco Grand Prix, which is pretty much the Oscars of the racing world. Not to mention how only a handful of drivers have clinched this crown straight out of F3. This was followed up by his runner-up position in the FIA Formula 3 International Trophy. Finally, his victories at iconic racetracks like the Hockenheim Ring, Norris Ring, Brands Hatch, and the legendary Spa-Francorchamps set the stage for a grand entrance into the world of Formula 1. 2013, the year the F1 circus welcomed a new daredevil, already to etch his name in the annals of motor racing. Steering the Marussia MR02, a machine so humble it made the average grocery getter seem like a luxury ride, Bianchi was the David amidst Goliaths. Marussia, by comparison, was the team that could have been the poster child for when things go wrong. Founded in 2009, the team embodied the underdog spirit, with a budget that was a fraction of the giants, reportedly less than 1/10 of the leading teams. Marussia's approach was one of gritty determination and innovative guile. So as Bianchi navigated the treacherous waters of Formula 1, he found himself grappling not only with the shocking pace of his rivals, but also with the quirks of his own team. It was up to the Frenchman himself to turn the tides in his favour. In a world where horsepower reigns supreme, Bianchi's ability to hustle the MR02 around the track was a spectacle that left fans and critics alike in disbelief. Despite the car's limitations, including a Cosworth engine that was outpaced by the leading power units by as much as 50 horsepower, Bianchi would somehow manage to outperform and outmaneuver his rivals. Starting from 19th on the grid in his debut race, a notch above his teammate and the Caterham contenders, his position was a reflection of the Herculean task at hand for him. But the races. Here, Jules turned the track into his playground, giving everyone a free crash course in the art of overtaking. Literally, when you're driving a car that's about as aerodynamic as a brick, passing your rivals becomes less about skill and more about sheer luck. His crowning moment came at the 2014 Monaco Grand Prix, where he secured Marussia's first and only championship points, proving that in the heart-pounding world of Formula 1, courage and talent could indeed make pigs fly. Before we go any further, make sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on all the high-speed action. The Formula 1 community watched in awe as Bianchi, with every turn of the wheel, solidified his status as not just a driver to watch, but a future star in the making. However, as the season progressed and the circus made its way to Suzuka, little did anyone know that the dark clouds gathering over the Japanese Grand Prix would cast a long shadow, not just on the race, but on the very fabric of the sport itself. Suzuka, with its legendary corners like the 130R, a high-speed right-hander taken at speeds exceeding 310 km/h, and the snaking S-curves, demands a blend of bravery and precision. For Bianchi, the 2014 Suzuka Grand Prix presented a formidable challenge, racing not just against a field of seasoned competitors, but against a circuit that had humbled many before him. The 2014 season had seen its fair share of wet races, but Suzuka, with its 18 turns and a history of dramatic weather-affected races, promised a trial like no other. As the weekend progressed, the skies above Suzuka began to fill with dark clouds in anticipation of Typhoon Fanfone. The stage was set for a Grand Prix that would be as much about battling the elements as about outpacing rivals. As the lights went out and the thunder of engines broke the tense silence, the race erupted into a maelstrom of speed and spray. Visibility was a luxury few could afford, as the cars became phantoms in the mist. The Frenchman, our intrepid knight in carbon fiber armor, was a study in focus on this day. His vehicle of choice was the MR03. Admittedly was not the frontrunner in terms of raw power or aerodynamic efficiency, but despite the clear performance gap to the leading teams, with power units pushing upwards of 750 horsepower compared to Marussia's more modest output, this man's spirit of competition was undeterred. With each passing lap, the track conditions worsened, testing the resolve of even the most seasoned drivers. Visibility on the circuit dropped to less than 200 meters, leaving the drivers to steer based on instinct and blind faith. Then, in the thick of this high-octane ballet, tragedy struck. Bianchi's Marussia lost its grip on the rain-slicked asphalt. The sequence of events that followed was a cruel twist of fate that would forever alter the course of the race and the very fabric of Formula One. As the laps ticked down and the rain showed no mercy, an incident on track brought out the yellow flags, signaling danger and demanding caution. Soon enough, Adrian Sutil's Sauber crashed, bringing out the recovery vehicle, a wheel loader, to the Dunlop curve, a section known for its high-speed approach and limited runoff area. It was a routine procedure, one enacted countless times in the annals of the sport, yet in the context of Suzuka's Tempest, it was fraught with peril. This is when Bianchi, pushing the limits of his Marussia, encountered a scenario that every driver dreads. On lap 43, his vehicle skidded off course, veering off into the runoff area with terrifying speed. And before you knew it, his MR03 collided with the rear of the wheel loader, with a force measuring in tens of Gs. The impact was devastating. The left side of Bianchi's car bore the brunt of the collision, the force of the impact so severe that it lifted the heavy recovery vehicle off the ground, causing Sutil's suspended Sauber to crash back to the earth. The roll bar of Bianchi's Marussia was obliterated, evidence of the ferocity of the crash. The race was immediately red-flagged. Lewis Hamilton was declared the winner, but the victory was overshadowed by the dire circumstances. Bianchi, unresponsive to team communications and Marshall's efforts, lay unconscious in the wreckage of his vehicle as medical personnel rushed to his aid. The weather, which had played such a cruel role in the day's events, further complicated Bianchi's evacuation. The poor conditions made helicopter transport impossible, and so began a painstaking ambulance journey to the Mai Prefectural General Medical Center, some 15 kilometers from the Suzuka circuit. The journey, under police escort, was a race against time. The initial reports from Filippo Bianchi, Jules' father, painted a grave picture. His son was in critical condition, battling severe head injuries, the medical team working feverishly to alleviate the bruising to his brain. The FIA confirmed the severity of Bianchi's condition, announcing that he had suffered a diffuse axonal injury, a form of traumatic brain injury. Finally, on July 17, 2015, Jules Bianchi succumbed to his injuries, passing away at the mere age of 25. His death marked a somber milestone, being the first fatality due to injuries sustained at a Grand Prix since Ayrton Senna in 1994. The Formula One community plunged into a state of mourning, and from all around the world, tributes began pouring in for the man whose light had been extinguished a little too soon. Jules Bianchi's funeral was held in his hometown of Nice, France. As his casket was carried through the streets, draped in the colours of his beloved Marussia F1 team, it was clear that his loss would never be forgotten. Following his passing, his family became outspoken advocates for improved safety in motorsport. They established the Jules Bianchi Foundation, dedicated to supporting neurological research and promoting safety initiatives in motorsport, ensuring that Bianchi's legacy would continue to inspire positive change in the sport he loved. The aftermath of the accident was a period of intense scrutiny and reflection for Formula One. The sport, known for its relentless pursuit of speed and competition, was reminded of its inherent risks. The FIA launched comprehensive investigations, seeking not only to understand the specifics of Bianchi's accident, but to learn from it, to ensure that the safety of drivers, teams, and spectators remained paramount. One of the most significant developments was the introduction of the virtual safety car. This ingenious system, activated by race control in response to on-track incidents, allows for controlled speeds during yellow flag periods, with drivers required to maintain a specified delta time. The VSC minimizes the risk of high-speed collisions and ensures the safety of both competitors and trackside personnel. In addition to the VSC, the FIA implemented stringent protocols regarding trackside recovery operations, ensuring that recovery vehicles and personnel are deployed only under conditions deemed safe by race control. The use of double-waved yellow flags indicating a hazard ahead became even more critical, serving as a clear warning to drivers to exercise caution and reduce speed in potentially dangerous situations. Furthermore, the FIA conducted extensive research and development into cockpit protection systems, exploring options such as the Halo device, designed to shield drivers from debris and impacts in the event of a crash. While initially met with skepticism from some quarters of the sport, the Halo ultimately proved its worth, with drivers such as Romain Grosjean praising the effectiveness in enhancing safety on the track. Jules Bianchi's story is a heart-rending chapter in the saga of Formula One, a story of triumph, tragedy, and the unbreakable human spirit. His name, forever remembered by fans and fellow racers, reminds us all of the courage it takes to chase our dreams. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more insightful stories from the world of F1.